Okay, you can turn it off.
You know, whenever we talk about exhaust service, I normally think of exhaust pipes and mufflers.
Yeah. Is it too loud? Does it smell like exhaust in the car? That kind of thing, right?
Well, actually, emission service has become much more comprehensive these days. In fact, the U.S. government mandated catalytic converters in 1976 and onboard emission control computers in 1990. State and federal emissions requirements have forced manufacturers to come up with much more sophisticated ways to comply with environmental regulation.
So exhaust service has really become exhaust and emission service.
That's exactly right. High-tech computer-controlled emissions devices are now a big part of exhaust service.
And because it's so sophisticated, your vehicle manufacturer recommends you have your emission system checked out by a qualified technician regularly just to make sure that everything's working. They usually recommend every 6 months or 6,000 miles.
That's right. Now, if your check engine light comes on, especially if it's flashing, Suzanne, you need to get your car looked at right away. Chances are it's an emission-related problem. I mean, you might have exhaust or emission trouble if your car is difficult to start, if it runs rough, if it's noisy, or if it smokes.
Okay, let's review the exhaust system then.
Okay.
So I'll take it from the top and start with the exhaust manifold. That's the part that attaches to the engine and collects the exhaust from the cylinders and directs it into the exhaust pipe.
The exhaust gaskets help seal the connection with the manifold and various other joints along the way. If the manifold is cracked or loose or a gasket is leaking, dangerous gases could escape into the passenger compartment where you ride.
Carbon monoxide can be deadly, so it's important that your exhaust system doesn't leak. The exhaust pipes connect the various components. They can rust or be damaged by a rock, so they need to be inspected periodically.
Next comes the catalytic converter. This part looks like a muffler. It changes chemicals that are dangerous to your health and the environment into harmless carbon dioxide and water. It doesn't require any maintenance itself, but eventually they wear out. You'll find out when your car fails an emissions inspection.
Now the muffler. Its main job is to quiet engine noises. Mufflers work by either absorbing or baffling sound, and you can actually customize your car's sound with different mufflers. Anything from whisper quiet to bad boy rumbly.
Now, rusted or road-damaged mufflers can leak and need to be replaced right away. The exhaust system is attached to the car by a series of hangers and clamps. These fasteners hold the system in place. When hangers come loose or break, hot exhaust components can touch and melt wires, hoses, and lines.
Finally, we end at the tailpipe, appropriately enough. This is the final outlet for the exhaust. These can be plain Jane or pretty blinged out flashy.
And don't forget the oxygen sensor. It monitors the oxygen content of the exhaust so the engine control computer can adjust the fuel-to-air mix to keep the car running right.
Exhaust and emissions service covers plain old pipes and high-tech computers. It impacts everything from life and death safety due to exhaust leaks to fine-tuning the sound of your ride.
Well, we hope this helps keep your car running good and sounding great.
Let's hear that bad boy rumbly. There we go. Oh, yeah.